Hello, let's take a look at problem 1 using more than one step. What are the solutions of 9 plus 4t is greater than 21? Check the solutions. Alright, so we have 9 plus 4t is greater than 21. Well, the first thing that I want to do when I'm solving this inequality is to subtract 9 from both sides. And so they subtracted 9 on the left side and 9 on the right side. And they are left with 4t is greater than 12. Then I want to get my t by itself by dividing by 4 on both sides. So when I do that, I get my 4's cancel out. 12 divided by 4 is 3, so t is greater than 3. So the first thing is I want to check the endpoint when I'm checking, and I'm going to use an equal sign instead. So it says t is greater than 3, so we plug in 3 for my t. This is the original solution. And instead of the inequality greater than, we're going to use equal to. And when I do that, I get 9 plus 4 plus 3, which is 12. So 9 plus 12 is 21. 21 equals 21, so it checks out. Then we want to try a number that's greater than. And we want to make sure we use not the equal sign, but the inequality this time. So we have 9 plus 4 times 4. There's other numbers we could have chosen. We could have chosen 5, 6, 7, 8, 3.5, anything greater than 3. 4 is the number that they chose, so they did 9 plus 16. 9 plus 16 is 25. 25 is, in fact, greater than 21, so it does work out. So now, let's try a few on our own. So the first one is negative 6a minus 7 is less than or equal to 17. So I have negative 6a minus 17 is less than or equal to, I think I wrote that wrong. Let me check it out. Now minus 7, not 17. Okay, we have minus 7 is less than or equal to 17. Alright, so the first thing that I need to do, I'm going to do is add 7 to both sides. And I get negative 7 is negative 6a, is less than or equal to, what is this going to turn out to be? 24? Yep. Then I want to divide both sides by negative 6. Remember in the previous lesson we learned when we divide by negative, my inequality flips. So I get a is greater than or equal to, is that a negative? No, it's not, so it's a negative 4. So if I check it, which they asked me to do, first I check negative 4, my endpoint, so I have negative 6 times negative 4 minus 7 equals 17. So I get positive 24 minus 7. Does that equal 17? It surely does. So that checks out. Now let's try a number greater than that. Let's try 0. 0 is greater than it, right? So we can plug in negative 6 times 0 minus 7. And we want to see if that's less than or equal to 17. So negative 7 is, because that cancels out, is less than or equal to 17, and it does. So that one is a solution. That one is correct. All right, let's do the next one. Negative 4 is less than 5 minus 3n. Negative 4 is less than 5 minus 3n. So the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 5 from both sides. I get negative 9 is less than negative 3. And again, I'm going to divide by a negative number. We'll remember that when we divide by a negative number, my inequality flips. So I get n is less than 9. Let's rewrite that. I say n is less than, I'm sorry, I said 9, it should be 3. N is less than 3. Okay, so now let's plug in. Let's plug in my endpoint first. So we have negative 4 is less than 5 minus 3 times 3. Oops, I'm sorry, this is supposed to be an equal sign. Forgive me. So negative 4 equals 5 minus 9. So negative 4 equals negative 4. That works out. Now let's try another number. Anything less than 3, let's try. I like 0. So let's try 0 again. So negative 4 is less than 5 minus 3 times 0. So I get negative 4 is less than, this crosses out, 5. Negative 4 is less than 5. It checks out. All right, I think there's one more. We have 50 is greater than 0.8x plus 30. 50 is greater than 0.8x plus, I don't know if it's 30 or 3. It's 30. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is subtract 30 from both sides. And I get 20 is greater than 0.8x. Next thing I'm going to do is divide both sides by 0.08. To get my x by itself, I'm going to put that in my calculator. So I have 20 divided by 0.8 gives me 25. So I get 25 is greater than x. I'm going to flip it around because I don't like the way it looks. So I get x is less than 25. All I did is take my x, move it on this side, take my inequality is pointing, see it's less than, so this has to be less than, and I put my 25. Okay, so of course we'll check the endpoint first. So we have 50 equals 0.8 times 25 plus 30. So let's plug that in. 0.8 times 25 is 20. So I get 50 equals 20 plus 30, and 20 plus 30 equals 50. So that checks out. Let's do another number. So it is x is less than 25. 0 is so tempting. I'm going to do 0 again. Why not? So 50 is greater than 0.8 because 0 is less than 25, right? So it can be in my part of my solution. That crosses out. 50 is greater than 30, and that is in fact true. So I hope that this helps.